Hi everybody, how are you doing? So I haven't been making a video for a while, and I don't really know why. I guess I just feel this kind of like all of a sudden I feel a push to make a video. Like maybe I have something to say, I'm not sure. But I'm really happy to be able to talk to you guys today. And um, yeah, it's a really interesting world, right? The Olympics is just getting ready to start in Tokyo. People in Japan have very mixed feelings about this. I think it's really true that a lot of people in Japan feel like this Olympics was kind of forced on us. I guess I add us, yeah, like I'm here too, so I feel that way, maybe a little bit. I'm really happy it's happening, but at the same time, I feel like there wasn't really an option. We delayed it 1 year, but there wasn't really an option to say, no, I don't think we can do this. Whereas I think probably, at least in the US, maybe we might have been a little bit more strong and said, no, we're not doing it. I don't know. It's not really a point of strong or weak or anything like that. It's just that it feels like the aspect of Japan's commitment to something, once they've committed to it, Japan, a really good thing about Japan is that they'll definitely see it through once they've committed to it. It takes a long time to actually decide that we're gonna do it, but once it's decided, in Japanese companies, you'll see this all the time. It's very, very rarely will they say, okay, well, we're not going to do it anymore. It just doesn't happen very much. So I feel like maybe that part of Japan was kind of a part of not being able to really say or like put your foot down, because they had already committed to it, right? And so the concept of once you commit to something, you shouldn't give up and you shouldn't say no is maybe it was a little bit utilized in this situation. I'm not sure. It's probably maybe not even conscious utilization of it, but that's probably a part of the reason why, even though a lot of the Japanese people didn't want the Olympics, that it still happened. It is going to happen, and I really hope it goes well. So one of the things I wanted to talk about today is my fear of heights. I'm deathly afraid of heights. I'm okay in like airplanes when you can't really, I don't mind airplanes. Like you can see the ground, but it's like you don't really connect to it how high you are. But I'm afraid of like high mountains and walking in high places where there's like, you can see that there's a drop off. And I think it all boils down to my dad, Jarman, and how he would force us to take these, to me, extremely scary hikes. Probably you guys all have hiked Olamana. It wasn't a problem. Luckily, my dad probably didn't know Stairway to Heaven. I think it's called Stairway to Heaven. This like super scary. I've seen pictures. Oh, brah, if my dad knew about that, I'm sure I would have had to do it, even though I guess you're not supposed to do it, right? That long time ago, yeah, 70s or so. But anyway, my dad knew about Olamana. So he made me climb Olamana like 3 or 4 times, despite the fact that every single time I was absolutely petrified at the very end, where you have to go up the pointy part. And so, it was sort of like you get to the tippy top, right? After you've kind of like climbed up this really scary part. And one time he carried me and everything. Oh my gosh, just thinking about it makes me scared right now. And so I would get up to the top where it has the thin little trail at the top, and it's a beautiful view, but I'm never gonna look, and it's windy and you feel like you're gonna get blown off. So I would like crawl on that little path, like crawl like that. And my dad would be behind me, Ruthie Jarman, you stand up right now, And it was so scary to stand up, but sometimes I would be able to do it and sometimes I couldn't. And, even now, like I had a project in Kochi a year and a half ago where it was really cold and we had to climb down to this waterfall on kind of an icy path. And the person I'm with, who's the Japanese person in charge of the project, and then I'm with this other guy, this American guy who's like more, adventurous. They're both like, walking down like nothing, and then walking back up like nothing. And I was like crawling on the ground, and my friend was like, Ruth, you're doing opposite evolution, like evolution is supposed to be, that picture of the monkeys, it starts monkeys and then finally gets the man standing straight. I was doing the opposite of that, yeah? So, yeah, heights are definitely not my forte. How about you guys? What are you afraid of, Like I feel nervous when I'm in a situation in a high place, okay? And so when I think about that, I wonder if I had been afraid of heights from the beginning or if my father made me afraid of heights, right? But that doesn't matter. So I know what my fear is, correct? I know that I am afraid of heights, okay? So then the question is, like, do you avoid heights at any time you can? Or do you try to handle it in your own way by like crawling on the ground? And I think it's okay to, instead of avoiding it all the time, just do it your own way. And if you can survive by crawling on the ground and still get through it, why not? Right? So you don't have to be standing up straight and walking in the scary place if you're feeling really scared. If you're feeling scared, you can lie on the ground and, squiggle like a worm across the trail. It's okay. I feel like that is so important in so many aspects of our life, okay? Because you have this idea of what other people can do. So the other day when I was walking in Tohoku with my daughter, she didn't have any problem going down this thing and up this thing. I started to feel those nerves because I could see the ocean breaking below and it just started to get me, So I told her and I said, this is making me nervous. So I held to the side, there's a handle place, and I went really slow. And I just let her know that this situation is scaring me a lot, but it's not like I'm going to go back. I'm going to try to get through it in my own way, whether it's really slow, whether it's like really wimpy looking, whether it's an opposite version of evolution. Let's get through it, okay? So even body image. I mean, even how in shape you are. I mean, your fitness level, health, everything. So for some reason you watch Instagram or you watch YouTube and all that kind of stuff. And, society has told us that, brave people are brave and they stand up and they walk in high places and they're not scared. Okay. So in my mind, I feel a lot of pressure that maybe that's what I'm supposed to be, but no. It is okay to have weaknesses. It's okay to feel super healthy and super happy with yourself. But then when you look in the mirror, maybe you don't have as small as waist as somebody else, It's fine. So something that's really made this hit home is the whole vaccine issue. Is that literally the vaccine for COVID-19 affects each individual in an individual way. There are definitely trends. But like most people just get a little soreness, like after you get the influenza shot, like the soreness in the place where you got the shot. Some people get a headache, some people this. But the doctors say it's all different because all of us are different. You can't predict exactly, some people don't feel anything, right? So doesn't that seem to prove to you that every single person is totally different? So we cannot establish norms for how you're supposed to act in this situation, how you're supposed to react in a pressure-filled situation for yourself. What are you supposed to be brave about? What are you not supposed to be brave about? There is no norm and there shouldn't be a norm because every single one of us is created individually, differently, and perfectly exactly the way we are. So if you're feeling a little nervous about a speech when your friend isn't, or if you're feeling really nervous about a test when your friend isn't, or you feel like you don't know how to study as well as somebody else and they seem to be doing fine, it's fine. So if you have your own approach and if you have your own fears and your own vulnerabilities, let's just let those out. I think trying to hide the vulnerabilities and stuff actually makes things worse because it ends up affecting you in different ways, right? With anxiety or depression or anything like that. So just like this COVID-19 vaccine affects everybody in a different way, which I definitely think everybody should get it, but it affects everybody in a different way. Just like I handle heights probably different than the way you handle heights. Probably your waist is, 20 centimeters smaller than mine, but we're both healthy, You might like to eat a certain thing and I don't like to eat it. Of course. That's how it's supposed to be. So let's all stop measuring ourselves against this, very vague norm, this very gray area of what people are supposed to be like. You yourself are exactly fine the way you are, and it's okay to be vulnerable. So as we get out of this COVID thing, hopefully maybe in the next half year or so, I hope we can all learn to be a little bit more vulnerable and a little bit more forgiving to each other and help each other in our weak spots. And then in our strengths, we also help other people when they're weak in that area, right? So that's what I wanted to tell you today. And thank you, Jay Jarman, for forcing me up Olamana, or else I probably wouldn't have thought of this. So in the end, okay, good. Yeah, thank you. Although I cried a lot, but yeah, thank you. Okay, everybody, have a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.